Hi there. Let's talk about quantum international relations today. As you know that international relations has long been shaped by a classical worldview. For decades, the discipline has assumed that world politics operates like a machine. States are separate units, interests are measurable, and also outcomes follow linear cause and effect relationships. Um, that understanding mirrors Newtonian physics, which is a universe of predictable motion and also stable structures. And realism, balance of power, rational choice, all rest on this mechanical imagination. And yet, the world we inhabit today does not behave mechanically. Global politics unfolds through pandemics, climate crisis, digital networks, ideological polarization, maybe and cascading uncertainties. And these dynamics challenge the core assumptions of classical international relations. And right, exactly, this is where quantum international relations enters the debate. Quantum theory transformed physics by showing that reality is not composed of isolated objects, but of relations, probabilities, and interactions. And that's why observation matters, and uncertainty is fundamental, and also outcomes are not predetermined. Quantum international relations does not claim that politics is physics. Rather, it draws on quantum insights or entanglement, uncertainty, maybe nonlinearity, and emergence to rethink how we conceptualize global politics. Instead of fixed actors, we see relational systems. Instead of certainty, we see probability. And instead of control, we see co-creation. And in that sense, traditional IR theories assume that states act independently and rationally within a stable international structure. Yet, contemporary global crises reveal deep interdependence. Economic shocks travel instantly across borders, and wars reshape food markets, migration flows, and ecological systems far beyond the battlefield. And also, security is no longer divisible. Quantum IR challenges the assumption that self and other, and these can be analytically separated. In an entangled world, security, vulnerability, and responsibility are shared. And in quantum physics, entanglement refers to a condition where entities remain connected regardless of distance. In world politics, this is not a metaphor. It is an observable condition. No state exists in isolation, and actions taken in one region reshape the global field. And quantum international relations therefore replaces the image of world politics as a chessboard with a more accurate one, which is a dynamic field of interaction. Quantum theory also teaches us that observation changes outcomes. There is no neutral observer. In politics, this translates into the power of narratives, power of discourse, and maybe power of perception. When states define threats, they often help create them. Foreign policy is not merely reactive, it is performative. I mean, language, framing, and representation collapse political possibilities into concrete outcomes. And in this sense, power is not only material, it is epistemic. And classical political analysis seeks prediction. And that's why quantum thinking prioritizes foresight. Global politics operates under conditions of uncertainty, where intentions and outcomes cannot be fully known in advance. Decision making is probabilistic, not deterministic, and this doesn't imply chaos, but adaptive complexity. Effective political thinking today requires flexibility or scenario building and responsiveness rather than rigid strategic doctrines. In that sense, we may claim that quantum international relations is ultimately a human science. I mean, classical IR often abstracts away human consciousness behind terms like the state or the system. I mean, quantum IR brings the human back in as an observing or meaning-making and ethically responsible actor. And on the contrary, politics is shaped not only by material interest, but also by emotions or identities, beliefs, and maybe interpretations. Ethics and empathy are not soft variables. They are structurally consequential. In a quantum framework, power is no longer primarily about domination or coercion. It's about influence, resonance, and legitimacy. Change increasingly emerged through networks, emerged through ideas, and maybe collective mobilization rather than hierarchy alone. Small actors can produce large systemic effects, and that explains why social movements, why narratives, and also digital platforms have become central arenas of global politics. If world politics is an entangled field, diplomacy becomes the practice of creating coherence. And dialogue is not merely negotiation over interests. It's a process of aligning perceptions and reducing destructive interference. Listening becomes as strategic as speaking, and that's why quantum diplomacy values relational intelligence alongside strategic calculation. Quantum international relations does not offer a predictive model of world politics. It offers a new way of seeing. It invites us to move beyond the illusion of separateness, to recognize uncertainty as a structural condition, and also to recenter the human being in global political analysis. In an entangled world, control is limited, but responsibility is universal. The future of world politics will depend less on stronger tools of domination and more on deeper forms of understanding, deeper forms of awareness and relational thinking. And this is the quantum term in international relations. Thank you for watching.